Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Arthritis at Home. As many as you know, arthritis affects more than joints. It affects sleep, a person's energy, confidence, their relationships, their work life, and for many people, it affects their mental health. Research shows that people living with arthritis are significantly more likely to experience anxiety and depression than the general population. In an ACE national survey on arthritis and mental health, respondents described feeling getting caught in a cycle where pain worsened mood and low mood made it harder to stay active, eat well, or manage medications. Yet many respondents also told us that mental health is not routinely discussed in clinical appointments. Join us today to talk about a new JointHealth Education online course that addresses these challenges posed by arthritis and mental health is ACE's president, Cheryl Koehn. Cheryl, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Let's start by uh, finding out from you a little bit more about Joint Health Education and why ACE created a JED course specifically on arthritis and mental health.
That's a great place to start our conversation, Kelly. We created it for the very reasons you just outlined. Mental health is not separate from arthritis. They are deeply, deeply connected. Our survey obviously underscored that. It's also an emerging body of literature to be found now in the research community. There are more and more researchers who are focusing their attention on the impact of arthritis on our mental health and overall well-being. People with arthritis are significantly more likely to experience anxiety and depression, and I'm going to use one word as to the why: pain. The prevailing symptom amongst a constellation of symptoms that make up the word arthritis is pain. And pain creates anxiety, pain creates mobility challenge, and all of those things sort of roll up to mental health challenges like depression. Um, it's not, I think societally we think of mental health issues over here on an island, but they're not. They live on the islands of arthritis, of chronic diabetes, heart disease. Mental health is one of the things that is a result of acute and chronic illnesses. Our national survey really did, as I mentioned at the start, and as you overviewed at the beginning, confirmed that people in our community are struggling emotionally, are struggling psychologically. And often they're not being asked those questions. Those words don't come up in the arthritis conversation per se. Part of that is time in the clinic, Kelly, frankly. Another reason is people that are trained and are highly expert at dealing with musculoskeletal diseases, arthritis, are not mental health experts, right? That's not where they spend the bulk of their time in their medical training lives. But more and more medical school curricula is going to have to bring that into the fold when doing specialty training. I mentioned that mental health challenges are driven a lot by pain, but also by fatigue, okay? Disease management, like how you're dealing with your disease, can lead to improved mental health or reduced mental health. Um, we created this course really to fill a gap. There isn't, to our knowledge, an education uh, um, program or offering that addresses mental health in a really practical sort of way, in using, as we do in joint health education courses, using really lay-friendly language and simple tools that people can use and incorporate into their daily lives to improve their mental health. It will help them, learn about their disease, uh, as well as how it impacts on their mental health. The course is convenient to use. You can use it anytime, day or night. You can stop and start as you have the energy or the interest. And it's accessible, obviously, 24/7 online. And the fun thing about joint health, I know it's weird to talk about something fun related to either arthritis as a disease or a constellation of diseases and mental health. But you do find that there is a community there. You can gain access to other fact-based resources at the end of each of the courses. And that further supports and I think powers you to be better prepared to self-manage, not just your disease, but your mental health and the disease. Helps you talk, I think, in a more fulsome way with your arthritis health professionals. Just because they're not bringing up mental health, Kelly, in the visit, doesn't mean you can't. And I think that's really a big message that we want the Joint Health Education program to put out is it can be you who brings this topic up, right? Make time. Let your healthcare provider know that during the time you have, this is one of the important pieces you want to talk at that visit.
So we've mentioned how the ACE National Survey on Arthritis and Mental Health provided a foundation for this new course in joint health education. What were some of the key takeaways from that survey that have helped motivate this new course?
Well, I think what we learned was where gaps were, right? I mean, that's the whole point of doing surveys, is trying to listen carefully in the most rigorous way that we can. This is not surveying people, crowdsourced surveys such as we run. Is not the perfect science, but it's very valuable science. It's a very valuable resource because you hear kind of the nitty-gritty in some of the open-ended questions that are asked or the open-ended fields that people can provide additional comments in. And I think what we heard from them is they wanted to understand what is that two-way relationship between arthritis symptoms and mood. So people are going to learn that in the course. Um, they're going to learn how to recognize early signs of stress, anxiety, and depression. They're going to use how to use self-screening tools that are available. We have a fantastic tool. I think it's one of few out in the world, called Arthritis ID. So actually getting a handle on what disease you have helps improve your mental health. There's evidence-based strategies on physical activity, sleep, nutrition, stress management, and other techniques, how to build a long-term mental health care plan, and how to actually access professional care and overcome barriers. So those are just a few of the things that people told us in the survey they wanted to have tools to deal with, right? And that's what the course has inside of it.
So you've talked about the tools, what they're going to can expect to learn from each of the individual lessons that make up the course, that it's accessible at any time, which is one of the great benefits of joint health education, that people can learn at their own pace. I'm just wondering, do people, are some people going to think, do I qualify to be able to take this course? Like eligibility, is it what's required? Um, who should take this course?
Well, personally, I think everyone in society should take the course because they'll learn about the connection between arthritis and mental health. So, first of all, I know that probably isn't going to happen, but you got to dream big in life, Kelly, to achieve, lofty goals. I think that most people are going to find this helpful. I think obviously the target audience are people who are living with arthritis and perhaps dealing with mental health challenges. So that's sort of the primary audience, if you will. The course is free. Everything Arthritis Consumer Experts does is free. It's available online. You can reach out for more information through our feedback at jointhealth.org address. But really, it's people who are dealing with arthritis. But it's also for people who are in a world where arthritis lives. For example, a family member. If my if my partner in life has arthritis, Kelly, whether they say they're dealing with mental health struggles or not, I should take this course because I need to learn, how arthritis may or may not be impacting their mental health so that I can offer the best support possible in my home setting. True for work as well, Kelly. I think employers and colleagues could take this course and learn a lot about what's happening in the workplace for a person living with arthritis. So, do you have to have a mental, either an arthritis or a mental health diagnosis? No. But if you do, this is a course for you. If you have someone in your life who has arthritis, this is a course for you. If you're working with someone or employing someone with arthritis, this is a course for you. I really think mental health or arthritis health professionals in this space, those that don't have mental health training, could benefit from this course because it's written for the person with arthritis by people with arthritis. So you're going to get a really sort of grassroots view of this. And I want to say, this isn't just what we think about arthritis. This is based on the research literature, the findings from our survey, and one of the top mental health in arthritis experts, Dr. Susan Bartlett, whom we owe a huge debt of gratitude for helping guide the content development, multiple reviews, and as well, folks who take the course are going to see her in the videos at each of the lessons. There's 6 lessons in each of our courses, true for this course as well. So we're again, it's not just what we're saying. These aren't just ideas we've had floating in the air about mental health and arthritis. This is based on the literature, the latest science, and from a leading science expert in arthritis and mental health.
I think one of the things that you both underlined is that this course is all about sort of normalizing mental health challenges and reducing stigma. And I know one of your mantras is that, seeking support is a sign of strength. And we always talk about how people living with arthritis have this incredible will and resilience. And I think that's one of the ways that they find that is by seeking support. And you talk about peer support or family support or support at work. Um, they really are strengthened by that. So, Cheryl, thanks for walking us through this launch of a new course that we're really, really excited about. As you said, meeting a true unmet need across Canada. We look forward to people taking the course. We look forward to getting feedback on the course. And once again, underlining how mental health care is really part and parcel of comprehensive arthritis care. Thank you again for joining us today, Cheryl.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you who are watching or listening to this episode of Arthritis at Home. We look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Bye for now.